on 12 News at 10.
More than a dozen ASU students went to Fossil Creek to celebrate their graduation, but their trip ending abruptly in tragedy after 2 of them didn't make it home.
A new ordinance in Pima County requiring gun owners to report missing or stolen weapons. So why are some groups calling the move illegal?
Tonight, the First Lady of the United States is back in Arizona talking about education. What changes teachers here in the Valley would like to see coming up.
The northern lights are visible in Arizona tonight. We'll explain why the phenomenon has made it this far south.
Temperature is starting to heat up this weekend. We'll stay in the 90s, but those triple digits not too far behind.
12 News at 10 starts right now. Tonight, we are learning more about the 2 men who drowned at Fossil Creek about 2.5 hours northeast of Phoenix this week. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. The men had just graduated from ASU and were up at Fossil Creek with a group of friends to celebrate. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono talked to the Gila County Sheriff's official who actually helped recover the bodies. She joins us live in studio. Bianca?
Yeah, guys, this situation is just so sad. I'm told the families of these 2 men live in India, and they had just been here in Arizona celebrating the graduations. It was supposed to be a trip marking a milestone. A group of 18 friends, most who had just graduated from ASU's School of Engineering, heading north of the valley to Fossil Creek in Camp Verde. On Wednesday, they hiked about 4 miles to the Lower Falls area, getting there just before 6 p.m.
A few of the folks involved out of the group of 18 got in the water.
The Gila County Sheriff's Office says the group did not intend on swimming, though they had a couple of life jackets. 3 of the men in the group without them, who were not strong swimmers, slipped in at the same time.
There's some ledges along the sides, and what we believed is they were kind of in the water near those ledges.
23-year-old Rakesh Reddy Lakareddy and 25-year-old Rohith Manikanta Rapala never surfaced. Chaos ensued as the group tried to contact 911 with little to no cell phone service.
We were getting a lot of 911 calls and they were dropping.
Eventually, texts to 911 started coming through to Gila and Yavapai counties.
It went from trying to recover somebody that had been involved in a drowning to a recovery of 2 individuals.
On Thursday morning, that grim discovery was made. Sergeant Cole Labonte was one of the divers.
Families need to have that closure of having their loved one back to be able to kind of have funerals.
Both victims' families live in India, and officials say many relatives had just gotten home after coming to Arizona to celebrate their graduations.
The clarity of the water is not what most people are used to with Arizona water. This particular area is very, very blue.
A trip meant for celebration, instead ending in tragedy.
I just can't stress enough not to exceed your abilities and not to take chances, because this is remote.
And officials say these are the first deaths at Fossil Creek since 2019. There were 3 fatalities that year. We're live in studio, Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca. We're following breaking news about an hour north of Phoenix. Crews there battling a brush fire right now near Sunset Point. DPS says a vehicle caught fire in the northbound lanes of I-17, and then the flames extended onto the left shoulder, creating that small brush fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt. ADOT says the left lanes are blocked in each direction. Also developing tonight, crews in Scottsdale are investigating a fire that broke out near Pima Road east of McDonald. Sky 12 over the scene around 9 o'clock, and they saw heavy smoke coming from the windows in the attic. Scottsdale Fire tells us they worked quickly to contain the flames. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Investigators now taking a closer look at what caused that fire.
There is new fallout after the arrest of Patrick Batillo, also known as Mr. Orange, on child sex crime charges. He was one of 3 adults tied to a Poria Schools program who have now been connected to investigations of sexual misconduct involving kids. The Jobs for Arizona Graduates, or JAG program, aims to help high school students learn valuable skills, but it's now been suspended as the district continues its own investigations. And it comes as parents express concerns about how the program was being used and how the adults in question interacted with the students.
And they were using the JAG program to deepen their hold on the minds of our children. And with that, we were finding, and I heard that many of our students will spend somewhere upwards of 75% of their day with individuals like Patrick because he was a part of the JAG program.
In a statement to 12 News, Peoria Unified Schools said that we have discontinued the JAG program at Peoria High School next year, going on to say that we're pausing the program to reset and determine what's best to support students through similar programming. New at 10, Pima County is at the center of Arizona's latest gun debate. The county is now being sued over a new ordinance that would require gun owners to report missing or stolen guns in 48 hours or face fines. But civil liberties group argue that the move is a clear violation of Arizona law. 12 News journalist Jonathan McCall is here live to break down the details. Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Caribe. Pima County says this ordinance was crafted with their county attorney as another tool to help curb rampant gun violence, often at the hands of the folks who they say aren't supposed to have guns in the first place. But gun rights supporters say it victimizes owners for a second time. Protecting rights.
And it strictly prohibits cities and counties from passing firearm-related regulations at the local level.
Or protecting lives.
And this is a significant public health and safety issue.
Pima County, now at the center of Arizona's latest gun debate.
Item passes 4-1. Thank you.
In March, the Board of Supervisors approving an ordinance that requires gun owners to report stolen or missing firearms within 2 days or face fines up to $1,000. Supervisor Rex Scott spearheading the idea and says the county attorney has discretion on how to use it.
If you are a law-abiding gun owner in Pima County, you have nothing to fear from this ordinance.
Scott says the new ordinance targets prohibited possessors, who he says account for a number of gun-related crimes.
Oftentimes when guns are allegedly lost or stolen, that's actually a cover for a straw purchase.
Targets the victims of firearm loss or theft rather than criminals.
The Goldwater Institute now suing the county. Parker Jackson is a lawyer with the organization.
Ordinance is illegal because the board didn't have authority to pass it.
That's because under Arizona law, local governments are banned from passing gun-related laws stronger than the state. Right now, there's no Arizona law requiring gun owners to report missing or stolen weapons. Jackson says this ordinance re-victimizes gun owners.
That uniformity and that predictability is important because those rights, again, should be the same throughout the state.
But Scott says it's all about protecting lives.
We're also not interested in going after people who legitimately had a gun lost or stolen.
So the lawsuit currently making its way through the legal system. We'll let you know exactly how this continues to play out in court. We're live tonight in the studio. Jonathan McCall, 12 News.
Jonathan, thanks. Let's turn to the weather now. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley joins us. Linz, happy Mother's Day in advance.
Thank you.
What do you think all the moms out there can expect for the weekend?
Temperatures up in the high country will be in the 60s and 70s. We will be dodging a couple raindrops during the afternoon for the high country, a couple pop-up storms. The valley, 98 degrees, dry, sunny, and breezy. A little bit of shower activity on the radar across far northern Arizona. Mojave County, Coconino County did get a little bit of rain north of Interstate 40 today, and it's going to be a very similar story for tomorrow. North of Interstate 40, that is going to be the best chance to see a few afternoon pop-up showers and storms. The coverage pretty isolated. Fast forward to Mother's Day on Sunday. Best chance is going to be from Flagstaff over through the Navajo Nation and down toward the White Mountains. Again, isolated coverage. The lower deserts, western Arizona, will remain completely dry through the course of the weekend. You can see some of these rain totals very light from the Grand Canyon through Flagstaff, along the rim and the Navajo Nation. This is actually through Monday night. Again, Phoenix staying dry, western Arizona staying dry, but things are going to start to heat up, and we're talking triple digits. And I'll have more on that coming up in your full forecast. Caribe?
All right, we knew it had to happen eventually. Thanks, Lindsay. Well, tonight, hundreds of teachers from across Arizona gathered in downtown Phoenix to hear what First Lady Dr. Jill Biden had to say about the state of education here in Arizona. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with those teachers about the challenges they say need to be fixed now.
All those educators packed into the Renaissance Hotel here in downtown Phoenix. Dr. Jill Biden saying what she believes is at stake for education in this upcoming election.
The First Lady of the United States, Dr. Jill Biden.
In a room filled with blue and red, lifelong educator Dr. Jill Biden campaigned for her husband to a sea of teachers and school staff about the future of education.
We need you, Arizona.
At a time when teachers here say their job isn't getting any easier.
Things are bleak. I'm only 9 years in. I've got a long career ahead of me, and as of right now, I'm a little scared. So I'm hoping for some hope.
From new educators to those who have been in the classroom for decades, they say teacher pay and declining student enrollment isn't being addressed.
The workload is out of control.
One issue nearly every single person we spoke with brought up:
the uncontrolled, unregulated use of vouchers.
The biggest issue on our state is that hundreds of millions of dollars have been siphoned away from public schools to pay for kids to go to private schools.
Problems Dr. Biden also addressed.
You're battling against school vouchers and a state legislature that's more interested in dividing educators and parents than addressing things like educator pay or classroom size.
We reached out to the Arizona Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tom Horn, for comment, but a spokesperson wrote back that since Dr. Biden's visit is political in nature, they'll politely decline. This isn't the only stop for Dr. Biden here in the Valley. Tomorrow morning, she'll be speaking with graduates at Mesa Community College. We're in Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.